Good morning. Today I want to read to you four more sections of Thus Spake Christopher, my treatise on non-duality. And so I'll read, let's see, sections 9 through 12 right now. So let's see if I can share my screen. And I need to do a couple of housekeeping things here so that I can see things a little bit more clearly. Okay, so as usual, you can go to www.docbenton.com, go down the page a little bit to the section, The Best of Doc Benton. Here's a link right here to Thus Spake Christopher, where you can download the whole PDF. It's not that long, but let me go to a tab where I have it open. And I'll begin reading with, let's see, chapter 9 here. Okay, chapter 9. The man then asked, should my goal be to enter the void and leave perception of this world behind? I began to answer. Initially, most people see only the world that they think is outside of them. Of those people, a few manage to later become aware of the unknowable mystery at the core of their being. And then they see the void as the goal that will liberate them from their pain. Unfortunately, many of the people who remain at this level may then see the world as the enemy of the void, and they will call the void good and the world bad or evil. However, beyond all of this is a higher stage where you can realize that the visible world and the invisible void are one and the same. At times, a person at this level may feel that they have been completely absorbed into the void for either an instant or an eternity. But for the rest of the time, even when they see the world, they will know it for what it is. They will know that the world and the void are one. As the Book of Commentaries has said, whatever things you see are but parts of the ways of the Holy One. Furthermore, once you realize that the parts you see depend on the whole, and that the whole cannot be a whole without containing all the parts, then you will realize that the parts and the whole are the same. The proper way to travel through the world of parts, however, is by always being aware of the whole while perceiving the parts. This is what the Book of Radiance calls establishing unity above and diversity below. What most people do, though, is to establish unity below and diversity above, and by this is meant that they cleave to and try to make themselves one with something they desire in the external world, while at the same time separating themselves from that primordial awareness that they can never truly be separated from. Thus, whether you see the world or the void, always be aware of the mystery that is inherent in and underlies both. That is what you were born to realize. Just that. Thus spake Christopher. Chapter 10. The man asked, are you here to establish a new religion? I began to answer. Have you not read what is written in the book of instruction? That one should not follow the multitude to do evil? The truth is that all multitudes will eventually do evil. And why should anyone want to establish anything that will do evil? As is suggested by the Book of Learning, for those who use their religion in the right way, it becomes a medicine of life. But for those who use it in the wrong way, it becomes a deadly poison. So, no, I am not here to establish a religion. At most, I am perhaps a mouthpiece for the individual awareness, and I am here to sing of individual spirituality and enlightenment. And that is all I am here for. I am not here to create more ignorance and darkness, but to celebrate the joy and light of each individual. That is all, and that is enough. And that is, perhaps, all that anyone should strive to do. Thus spake Christopher. Chapter 11. The man then asked, Is there an easy way to find joy? I began to answer. Joy comes in many forms. It comes from the food you enjoy eating, and from the people you love, and from the work you enjoy doing. Nonetheless, we are all good at building complexes within us of fear or hate or anxiety that can interfere with our joy. These are the knots that you must untie in order to experience continual joy. There are many ways to do this, but one of the easiest ways is to listen to good classical music each day, in particular, Tchaikovsky. More than any other person, I consider him to be the composer of joy. Our brains are programmed by what we feed it, and good sounds help the brain normalize and heal itself so that it can function at its best. Other composers have also written combinations of sound that are healing, such as the Moldau by Smetana, Clair de Lune by Debussy, Capriccio Espagnol and Scheherazade by Rimsky-Korsakov, Beethoven's Ode to Joy from his Ninth Symphony, Petrushka by Stravinsky, and the Bialotsian Dances by Borodin. Thus, Tchaikovsky is not the only composer that can help your brain feel joy, and the final test is if it is classical and if it brings sweetness to you when you listen to it. Again, I feel that the music of Tchaikovsky is the best for this practice, but I include some additional composers as well. They will all help you heal and reprogram your brain so that it can function better and more easily experience joy. This is the easiest way that I know to proceed. Feed your brain joy, and then you will experience joy. Thus spake Christopher. Chapter 12. The man then asked, how did duality come into existence? I began to answer. What makes you think that duality has come into existence? I will tell you why you think that and where you have erred. It is a common experience of all that we experience objects and that they are known. Thus, we separate things into the knower, the known, and the act of knowing. And we call this duality or multiplicity. However, where is the separation between these things? We imagine that there is a knower sitting inside our bodies and that the known is always something out there, and that knowing is the result of an interaction of the knower with the known. We imagine these to be three separate processes that exist at different moments in time. But the reality is that there is no separation between them. The known only exists when it is in the awareness of the knower. And likewise, knowing is only present when both the knower and the known are there. Again, we imagine these as separate processes, but in truth, they all happen simultaneously. There is no known without a knower and an act of knowing. They are all present simultaneously. And when this is understood, there is no separation of things into multiplicity. Thus spake Christopher. Okay, that is the end of the 4 sections for today. So let me go ahead and stop my screen sharing. And I'm back. So, let's see. In the next video, I'll continue with the next 4 sections. And that's it today. So I hope you enjoyed it. In the meantime, so long and be well.